Imagine your mind as a raging storm. The thunder of anxiety echoes through your thoughts, relentless and loud. The waves of fear and doubt crash against the shores of your peace, leaving you stranded in chaos. The winds of negativity swirl, pulling you deeper into despair. Does this sound familiar? But what if I told you that within you lies a hidden key, one that can calm the storm and guide you to a place of stillness? A key that unlocks a state of unshakable calm, where peace isn't a fleeting visitor, but your natural state of being. Today, we're exploring ancient Buddhist lessons, profound wisdom that has guided countless souls for over 2,500 years. These teachings aren't just spiritual ideals or abstract concepts. They're practical, actionable strategies to conquer the chaos within, cultivate positivity, and reclaim control of your inner world. You see, Buddhism teaches us that suffering isn't just something that happens to us. It's deeply rooted in how we perceive and respond to the world around us. The good news? We have the power to change this. Through simple yet transformative practices, you can shift your mindset and break free from the storm. Let's start with the first teaching, mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of bringing your full attention to the present moment. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, just here and now. When you focus on your breath, notice the sensations in your body or observe your thoughts without judgment. You anchor yourself in the present. In this space, the storm begins to quiet. The waves subside. The winds soften, and a sense of clarity emerges. The second lesson is about cultivating compassion, starting with yourself. How often do we criticize ourselves, judge ourselves harshly, or carry guilt like a heavy stone? Buddhist wisdom reminds us that we are deserving of the same kindness we offer to others. By practicing self-compassion, we heal the wounds within and open our hearts to genuine peace. And then there's the third teaching, impermanence. Everything in life, joy, pain, success, failure, is temporary. The storm will not last forever. When you embrace this truth, you begin to let go of attachments and find freedom in the flow of life. Now, here's where the magic happens. When you weave these teachings into your daily life, the transformation is undeniable. The storm no longer controls you. Instead, you stand strong, grounded, and at peace, no matter what challenges come your way. And as promised, here's your bonus. Lesson gratitude. Gratitude is a superpower. It shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right. Take a moment right now to think of 3 things you're grateful for. It could be as simple as the air you breathe, the food on your table, or the love of someone in your life. Gratitude doesn't just calm the mind, it opens the heart and transforms your entire perspective. So, are you ready to take control of your inner world? To step into the calm beyond the chaos? These Buddhist lessons are more than words. They are keys to a life of balance, clarity, and joy. If this resonates with you, let me know in the comments which lesson speaks to you the most. And remember, peace isn't something you need to chase. It's already within you, waiting to be unlocked. You hold the key. Thank you for joining me on this journey of Buddhist wisdom. If you found value in this, share it with someone who might need it. Let's spread peace together. Life often feels like a relentless tug of war. We pour so much of our energy into wrestling with things beyond our control, other people's actions, past mistakes, or the unpredictable twists of fate. It's exhausting, isn't it? But what if instead of pulling harder, you simply let go of the rope? Imagine this: a traveler caught in a sudden rainstorm. They could curse the skies, scream at the clouds, or lament their misfortune. But none of it will stop the rain. Or they could accept the storm, pull out an umbrella, and keep moving forward. The storm remains, but their journey continues. This is the heart of Buddhist wisdom. The understanding that while we cannot control life's storms, we can control how we respond to them. The Buddha taught that much of our suffering comes from resisting reality. We fight against what is, clinging to how we think things should be. But this resistance only deepens our pain. The key to peace isn't in changing the world to fit our desires. It's in changing how we perceive and respond to the world. This is the art of acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing what is beyond our control and finding the wisdom to focus on what we can influence, our thoughts, our actions, our choices. Here's a practice you can try. Take a moment to sit quietly with a piece of paper and write down your worries. Be honest. What's been weighing on your heart? Once you've listed them, divide them into two categories: things you can control and things you cannot. Look closely at the second list, the things outside your influence. Take a deep breath and imagine releasing them. Picture them as leaves floating down a stream, drifting farther away with each moment. Now turn to the first list, the things you can change. Shift your focus here. What small steps can you take today to address these concerns? Even the smallest. Action can create a ripple of positive change. This simple practice embodies a profound Buddhist lesson. Freedom is found in letting go. When you release what you cannot control, you free yourself from the chains of frustration and worry. You create space for clarity, for peace, and for action rooted in the present moment. Think again about the traveler in the storm. Their choice. To accept the rain doesn't change the weather, but it changes their journey. Life is full of storms. Some will pass quickly, others may linger, but each storm is an opportunity, a chance to practice acceptance and find strength within. So, I ask you, what are you holding on to that you cannot control? What would happen if you let it go? Take a moment to reflect, write it down, let it drift away. This act of release isn't just an idea, it's a gift you can give yourself every day. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Buddhist wisdom. If this practice resonates with you, let me know in the comments. And if you think someone you care about could benefit from hearing this message, share it with them. Together, we can learn to navigate life's storms with grace and wisdom. Remember, peace doesn't come from controlling the storm. It comes from finding your calm within it. Let go and let yourself be free. Why do we suffer? It's a question as old as time, and the Buddha offers a profound answer. Suffering, he teaches us, arises from attachment. We cling desperately to relationships, to success, to material possessions. We believe these things define our happiness, that without them we are incomplete. But this clinging, this relentless grasping often leads us to frustration, disappointment, and pain. Think about it. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you grip it, the faster it slips through your fingers. Life works the same way. The more we cling, the more we struggle, and the more we lose sight of what truly matters. But what if we let go? Not in a way that means giving up or walking away from what we love, but in a way that frees us from the weight of expectation and fear. By letting go, we don't lose what's important. Instead, we free ourselves from the chains of attachment and discover a profound sense of peace. Let's explore this through a simple practice. Think about something you're deeply attached to, a relationship, a goal, or even a material object. Now close your eyes for a moment and imagine loosening its grip on your heart. Picture yourself not clinging to it, but holding it gently, with care, as if you're cradling a delicate flower. Can you feel that shift, that lightness? That's detachment. But let's be clear, detachment isn't indifference. It doesn't mean you stop caring or loving. Instead, it means loving freely without fear or control. It means being present and appreciating the beauty of life without trying to possess it. This idea of detachment is one of the core teachings of Buddhist wisdom. The Buddha encourages us to let go, not to abandon the world, but to experience it more fully. When we release the need to control, we make space for peace, for clarity, and for genuine happiness. Think of a tree in the wind. It doesn't fight. Against the storm, it bends and sways, allowing the wind to pass through. This is the essence of detachment, being flexible, open, and at ease with the natural flow of life. When we practice this, we free ourselves from the suffering caused by clinging. So how do we apply this in daily life? Start small. The next time you feel frustrated or upset, pause and ask yourself, what am I clinging to in this moment? Is it an expectation, a fear, or a need for control? Then take a deep breath and imagine letting it go. Not forever, just for now. Feel the lightness that comes with release. Detachment is a journey. It takes practice and patience, but each small step brings you closer to freedom. It's a gift you give yourself, a way to live more fully and love more deeply, without the weight of fear or possession. If this teaching resonates with you, I invite you to reflect on it in your own life. What attachments are holding you back? And what would it feel like to let them go? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's explore this path together. Thank you for being here and for seeking wisdom. Remember, peace isn't found in clinging to life's fleeting moments. It's found in letting them flow through you like a gentle breeze. Let go and see what opens up for you. If this brought you value, share it with someone who might need it. Together we can spread the beauty of Buddhist lessons and the wisdom of letting go. In today's fast-paced and chaotic world, finding a moment of stillness can feel almost impossible. The constant noise, endless to-do lists, and overwhelming demands on our attention leave us feeling disconnected, restless, and drained. But amidst the chaos, Buddhist wisdom offers a profound truth, the power of simple rituals, small intentional acts that anchor us in the present moment. Picture a monk in the quiet hours of dawn, lighting a single candle. It's not about the candle itself. It's about the act of lighting it, the intention, the focus, the stillness it creates. This simple ritual becomes a moment of mindfulness, a pause before the day begins. And here's the beautiful thing. You don't need to live in a monastery to experience the benefits of this practice. Every one of us can create these moments of stillness in our own lives. It doesn't have to be elaborate or time-consuming. A ritual can be as simple as savoring a cup of tea in the morning, taking a deep breath before you step out the door, or sitting in silence for just a few minutes to center yourself. These small acts have the power to transform your day, grounding you in peace and clarity. Let's start with a practice you can try tomorrow morning. As soon as you wake up, instead of reaching for your phone or diving into your routine, pause. Choose one simple, mindful act to begin your day. It could be lighting a candle, taking a slow sip of warm water, or even just standing by a window and watching the sunrise. Whatever you choose, bring your full attention to it. Feel the texture, notice the sensations, and let the act pull you into the present moment. These small rituals might seem insignificant, but they carry profound power. They create a ripple effect. When you start your day with intention, it sets the tone for everything that follows. You carry that calm, centered energy with you into the moments of stress or challenge that may arise. Think of your ritual as an anchor in the storm. No matter how chaotic the world around you becomes, this anchor holds you steady. It reminds you that stillness isn't something you have to find outside of yourself. It's already within you, waiting to be nurtured. This practice is deeply rooted in Buddhist wisdom. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is cultivated not in grand gestures, but in the small, everyday moments of life. It's about being present, fully alive, and aware of the here and now. These rituals are a way to embody that teaching, to turn the mundane into something sacred, So how will you create your moment of stillness tomorrow? What small act can you turn into a ritual of mindfulness? Remember, it doesn't need to be perfect. What matters is your presence, your intention, and your willingness to slow down. Thank you for sharing this moment of reflection with me. If this message resonates with you, let me know in the comments what your mindful ritual will be. And if you know someone who might benefit from this simple yet powerful practice, share this video with them. Together, let's bring more peace into our lives, one small, intentional act at a time. Remember, in the midst of chaos, stillness isn't just possible, it's essential, and it begins with you. Gratitude isn't about having more. It's about seeing differently. It's a shift in perspective, a way of looking at the world that transforms the ordinary into extraordinary, and even the painful into meaningful. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that gratitude isn't limited to the good times. It's a way of finding value and beauty even in life's challenges. Think about this. A flower blooming in the harshest conditions. Its petals unfold despite the dry soil and scorching sun. But its beauty doesn't come despite the struggle. It comes because of it. The same is true for us. Our greatest growth often emerges from our most difficult moments. Gratitude allows us to see these struggles not as burdens, but as blessings in disguise. But how do we cultivate this perspective? How do we find gratitude when life feels overwhelming or unfair? The Buddha's teachings offer us a simple but profound practice: mindfulness and reflection. By pausing and looking deeply, we begin to see the lessons hidden within our hardships. Challenges teach us resilience, patience, and strength. They reveal our capacity to endure, adapt, and rise above. Here's a practice you can start tonight. At the end of your day, take a quiet moment to reflect. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Don't just stop at the obvious: a kind gesture, a good meal, or a success at work. Dig deeper. Look for the gratitude hidden in the tough moments. Maybe a setback taught you perseverance. Maybe a difficult conversation brought clarity or honesty. Maybe the mere fact that you endured another day is reason enough to give thanks. When you do this regularly, something incredible happens. Gratitude transforms the way you see your life. Pain becomes a teacher. Scarcity becomes abundance. Suddenly, the things you thought were missing or wrong start to feel less significant. You begin to notice the richness of what's already here. Gratitude, in the Buddhist tradition, is a form of wisdom. It's a way of breaking free from the cycle of craving and dissatisfaction that keeps us trapped in suffering. When we're grateful, we're not focused on what we lack. Instead, we're fully present with what we have. And in that presence, we find contentment and peace. So tonight, as you sit down to reflect, remember this: gratitude isn't just a feeling. It's a choice, a practice, a way of life. It's the lens through which we see the beauty of our existence, even in the hardest times. What are you grateful for today? Take a moment to write it down or share it in the comments. Let's create a ripple of gratitude together, spreading its light to others who may need it. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for seeking wisdom. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone who might benefit from a little gratitude in their life. Together, let's embrace this Buddhist lesson and transform pain into wisdom, scarcity into abundance, and challenges into blessings. Gratitude starts with a single step, and that step can be taken right now. Emotions are like waves, temporary, ever-changing, and sometimes overwhelming. They rise, crash, and recede, pulling us with their intensity. But too often, we mistake ourselves for the wave. We believe we are the anger, the anxiety, or the sadness. Buddhist wisdom reminds us of a profound truth. We are not the wave, we are the ocean. The ocean holds every wave, no matter how fierce or gentle. Beneath the surface, it remains vast, deep, and unshaken. Similarly, within each of us is an inner stillness, a calm center that exists beyond the ebb and flow of emotions. When anger, fear, or frustration rise, the key is not to fight the wave or let it consume us, but to observe it, acknowledge it, and let it pass. The Buddha taught that mindfulness is the path to this calm. When an emotion arises, the first step is to name it. Simply say to yourself, "This is anger," or "This is anxiety." By naming the emotion, you create space between you and the feeling. It's no longer your identity, it's just a passing experience. Imagine a jar of muddy water. When you shake it, the water becomes clouded and chaotic. But when you set the jar down and let it be, the sediment settles and the water clears. Your mind works the same way. When you stop fighting or clinging to your emotions, clarity naturally emerges. Here's a simple practice to try the next time frustration or anger hits. Pause. Take a deep breath. Instead of reacting, say, "This is anger," or "This is frustration." Feel the sensation in your body. Is your chest tight? Are your hands clenched? Observe it without judgment. Then with each breath, imagine the wave receding, leaving you grounded and steady like the ocean. This practice doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or pretending they don't exist. It's about allowing yourself to feel them fully without letting them control you. Emotions are a natural part of being human. They're signals, messengers, but they are not permanent. They will pass, just as every wave eventually returns to the sea. Over time, this mindful observation becomes a powerful tool for reclaiming your peace. You'll notice that emotions lose their grip on you. Instead of being swept away, you'll find yourself standing firm, rooted in the calm beneath the storm. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember, you are not the wave. You are the ocean. The wave will rise and it will fall, but your vast, unshaken self remains. What emotion are you struggling with today? How can you apply this practice in your life? Reflect on this and let me know in the comments. Your experience could inspire someone else on their journey. Thank you for being here and for exploring these Buddhist lessons with me. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who might benefit. Together, let's create a ripple of calm and mindfulness in a world that often feels turbulent. Remember, the storm is temporary, but your inner peace is always within reach. You are the ocean, vast, deep, and infinite. Resilience isn't about avoiding hardships. It's not about living a life free from challenges or pain. Instead, resilience is about understanding why you face them. It's about finding the strength to endure by reconnecting with a deeper sense of purpose. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that life's struggles, like the winds that sway a tree, are not here to break us, but to help us grow. Picture a young sapling in a storm. The wind bends it, tests it, and challenges its limits. But the sapling doesn't resist. It yields, and through this its roots grow deeper, its trunk grows stronger, and its purpose unfolds, to thrive, to reach for the sky. Like that sapling, we too are shaped by the winds of life. Our struggles have meaning when they align with a purpose greater than ourselves. So let me ask you, what's your why? What drives you? What gives your life meaning? When the storms of life rage, this sense of purpose is your anchor. It's what keeps you rooted, steady, and moving forward, even when everything around you feels uncertain. Finding your why begins with reflection. Take a moment to think about what matters most to you. Is it the love you have for your family, a dream you're working toward, a value or principle that guides your life? Your why doesn't have to be grand or perfect. It just needs to be true to you. Here's a practice to help you reconnect with this purpose. Find a quiet space and write down your thoughts. Start with the question, what is my why? Let the words flow without judgment. Maybe it's a specific goal or a feeling you want to cultivate. Maybe it's the desire to help others or simply to grow as a person. Whatever it is, let it come from your heart. Once you've written it down, keep it somewhere you can see it daily. Let it become a guiding light during difficult times. When life feels overwhelming, when challenges threaten, to uproot you, return to those words. Remind yourself of your purpose, your why. It's not about escaping the storm. It's about letting your purpose guide you through it. This practice is deeply rooted in Buddhist wisdom. The Buddha taught that clarity of purpose brings strength and resilience. When we align with our why, we transform suffering into growth, pain into wisdom, and setbacks into stepping stones. Think about the times you faced hardship in the past. What got you through? What gave you strength when you felt like giving up? Chances are it wasn't the absence of struggle, but the presence of purpose. That's the power of knowing your why. So what is your purpose? What is it that keeps you rooted when life feels uncertain? Take a moment today to reflect, write it down, and hold it close. Let it guide you, strengthen you, and remind you that even in the face of life's fiercest storms, you have the power to grow. Thank you for joining me on this journey of Buddhist lessons and wisdom. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone who might need a reminder of their own strength. Let's spread this light together. Remember, resilience isn't about avoiding the winds. It's about letting them deepen your roots and strengthen your resolve. You are stronger than you know, and your why will always lead you forward. Positivity is contagious. Like ripples spreading across the surface of a still lake, your calm and kindness have the power to inspire those around you. Buddhist wisdom reminds us that our actions, even the smallest ones, create an impact far greater than we might realize. A kind word, a helping hand, or a moment of patience doesn't just change your day, it can transform someone else's world. Imagine this. You offer a simple smile to a stranger on a difficult day. That smile lifts their spirits, and in turn, they show kindness to someone else. The ripple continues, spreading warmth, connection, and hope in ways you'll likely never see. This is the power of positivity. It begins with one small action, but can create waves that extend far beyond you. Each day, we are given countless opportunities to be a source of light for others. It doesn't require grand gestures or dramatic efforts. It could be as simple as holding the door for someone, offering a genuine compliment, or sharing a moment of understanding. It could even be as profound as offering forgiveness to someone who has wronged you, freeing both of you from the chains of resentment. Buddhist teachings emphasize the concept of interconnectedness, that we are all deeply connected, like threads, in a vast web of life. When you cultivate positivity within yourself, it naturally radiates outward, touching everyone you encounter. By spreading kindness, you create ripples of peace and optimism that can uplift entire communities. Here's a practice to try. Each morning, set an intention to perform one act of kindness during your day. It could be as spontaneous as a smile or as intentional as reaching out to someone who might need support. At the end of the day, reflect on that act. How did it make you feel? What kind of ripple might it have created? As you engage in these small acts, you'll notice something profound. The more kindness you give, the more it grows within you. Positivity is not a limited resource, it's abundant. The peace you cultivate within yourself through mindfulness, compassion, and gratitude becomes a wellspring that can flow to others. Think about the people in your life. Who inspires you with their calm, their generosity, or their patience? Chances are they've created ripples that have touched you in meaningful ways. Now you have the power to do the same. You don't need to wait for a perfect moment. Every moment is an opportunity to reflect the peace you're cultivating within. So, what ripple will you create today? What small act of kindness will you offer to the world? Take a moment to think about it and carry that intention with you. Remember, even the smallest ripple can grow into a wave of positivity that extends farther than you can imagine. Thank you for being here and for seeking to spread calm and hope. If this message resonates with you, share it with someone who might need a reminder of their own power to make a difference. Together, let's create ripples of kindness and positivity that can transform our world, one act at a time. You have the power to inspire, to uplift, and to bring light to those around you. Let your actions reflect the peace you carry within.